Hello, and so this will be a little bit different. I'm going to start doing something new here. Short story was that I've written songs for a long time and music and the like, going back 40 plus years. So do the math on that. So I have a lot of stuff I've just done. However, I don't necessarily keep it all. In terms of how I judge that, I keep the stuff that sort of works for me over time. So if I write something, I'm not the kind that wants to tinker with it. I learned early on that doesn't work out very well. You write it, you're done, you move on. But in writing something, if a piece of music of whatever kind, if I put it away and then come back to it a few weeks later, a month later, 2 months later, whatever, how does it sound then? And then after that, come back to it again a couple of weeks later, and how does it sound then? So the stuff I've kept is really the stuff that, for me, always seemed in some way, one way or another, even if the way changed each time, but one way or another seemed interesting to me. I'm the audience effectively, so I'm not really writing for anybody. I'm writing for someone else, nor am I writing for an audience per se. The audience is me. So it's really about whether I think it's interesting for me to play and for me to work with. And so that's how I judge things that I keep. So 90+% of the stuff that I've written, I've thrown away and I've lost and I've gotten rid of. But then there's a small collection of things I keep. And so I have those and I still play them. And so I'm going to start recording those. I figure, what the hell at my age? What the heck? Might as well. And so I'll record it and I'll put it up and for internet posterity, as it were. Anyways. So we'll start off today with one of those kinds of things. So this one actually is, I started off with the one I'm going to do because it was perhaps the most unique in the sense that it's a genre I seldom venture into, which is heavy kind of rock sound. So I seldom go there. I mean, I'm usually playing the piano. But I figured, what the heck, let's just go with it. So this particular one goes back 30 plus years. I figure early 90s. And so the start of that was just me playing. I had sort of a backing track going. I was playing the piano, or a piano sound actually, from a keyboard to it. And a friend of mine was there, and he picks up the mic and he starts to sing, and that was sort of how it was. And the song was, Irene, she's so mean, meanest girl I ever saw. Oh, Irene, you get the drift. So that was it. And that was the genesis, and it was a fun thing at that moment. And so I sort of kept that, coming up with variations for it over time, because it never really was fully formed in any way. So I always had, a different idea here, a different idea there, and I just sort of put it away. But I had enough ideas that I could effectively make a song at this stage of the game. I never really thought about it, but I could have done it years ago, probably, and didn't think about it. But I figured, let's just do it. All right, so this will be a good way to start out with a bang, as it were. So we're going to start off with that particular song, and I changed it because it's not really going to be like it was in the early 90s. It's going to be, the riff is going to be a bit different, and things are going to be a bit different. So I changed the name for a couple of reasons. One, because to distinguish it from what started. Instead of Eileen, it's going to be Irene, mean Irene. And Irene also because singing I and then L as a phonetic thing in terms of the sounds, trying to sing those, versus I and R really rolls, as it were, off the tongue a lot easier than L does. It's a little bit harder. So for me personally, that just made it easier just to go with Irene. And the rhyme ended up being the same, so what the heck. So I made that one mean Irene rather than Eileen. So for my friend out there who might be watching, it's the same, not the same song, and so that's why I changed the name. Anyway, so mean Irene. So like I said, it's going to be sort of a heavy rock kind of sound. And to that end, I am not a guitarist. I am not a drummer. I am not a bassist. I'm just a piano player. And so to that end, I apologize to all guitarists, drummers, and bassists everywhere. I'm not, I do what I can, but I'm not going to try to pretend I am any of those things. So therefore, what you hear may or may not sound like someone actually playing any of those instruments. that it is what it is in that sense. And so that's fine. I don't care. I'm not trying to be anything in particular. So don't tell me, hey, that's really lame sounding bass playing. I know it's lame sounding. So just relax. In any event, so that's that out of the way. But like I said, this is I figured I'd start with this particular song because it's sort of gets off with a bang, as it were. And I'll try to put up over time more of the original stuff. At least I avoid the copyright issues that way. More of the original songs I have. At least I think I do, unless I get sued for copyright infringement on my own song. But I'll put up the other stuff that I have still in my catalog, as it were, as I go. I probably won't do intros for them, to be honest. I'll just put them up because it doesn't really matter when or where or how or what. As Brahms said, as I know in another video, it doesn't matter. The circumstances of your life at the time really aren't that important. It's put the song up, it lives by itself, kind of a thing. So there you go. So I'll put them up over time. Like I said, for anyone who honestly wants to listen to it, I like it, but I'm probably the only one. So in any event, here is, for the first time anywhere, Mean Irene.
In their eyes, the storm will tear you apart. No mercy, no love, just a broken heart. Walk the street in the black moonlight. Oh, the castle is the night. Looking for someone to make a day. You see Irene, you better run away. Pain that you moves like a hurricane. You'll save heaven from the pain. Her life echoes like a devil's cry. Look at her once, she'll leave you dry. Mean Irene, you can't outrun her. Mean Irene, she'll tear you asunder. Mean Irene, she's your last not least. Mean Irene, she's a force unleashed. From the cracks, when she walks the street, lightning strikes with every man she meets. Her grip tight like a cold steel chain. Running from Irene, you won't escape the pain. Rage as she moves like a hurricane. You'll safe haven from the pain. Her laugh echoes like a devil's cry. Look at her once, she'll leave you dry. Mean Irene, you can't outrun her. Mean Irene, she'll tear you asunder. Mean Irene, she's the last not least. Mean Irene, she's the force unleashed.
Tried to find her, but she bled me dry. Looked in her eyes, saw the depths of the sky. No light, no love in the depths of her gaze. In Irene's storm, everybody pays.
Mean Irene, you can't outrun her. Mean Irene, she'll tear you asunder. Mean Irene, she's the last not least. Mean Irene, she's the force unleashed.